With self-harm, like, the one thing with me was it was easier to mend a cut or something rather than like the thoughts that were going in your head, like you could physically see it and fix it. And it was the only thing that helped me to sleep, like I couldn't sleep.
In Britain today, nearly 1 in 4 people suffer from some kind of mental health problem over the course of a year, the most common being depression and anxiety. 400 per 100,000 of the population of Britain self-harms, the highest in Europe. So who is this affecting? Research shows that mental health problems among children increase as they reach adolescence, with 80,000 of them suffering from severe depression.
Mental health to me means not a great deal because I've not been surrounded by it, throughout my life. Obviously, my dad does have a mental health condition. He has bipolar, so I understand that, but like mental health in general, like it's a wide range. So, and I don't really know much about it. So to me, not a big deal.
Mental health to me doesn't mean a great deal at all. I suppose in all honesty it's just because I haven't been affected by any aspect of mental health whatsoever. There's not been any significant deal of mental health awareness that has occurred in my life. I don't really know anyone with any mental health conditions or
Everybody knows that being a teenager is a struggle. There's always a lot of stress to be liked, do well in school, get along with family, and make big decisions that will impact the future. But there are times when these pressures can make a teenager feel worthless, hopeless, and very depressed, which can trigger the beginnings of a mental health problem.
Shannon, could you just tell us about when you were first diagnosed with OCD and the events preceding that?
Well, my mum first noticed it when I was about 10, but we didn't get it diagnosed until I was in high school, so about 12. Because at first, when my mum noticed it, I just said there was nothing wrong with me, but as I got older, it got worse, and I was noticing that because of the way that my skin was going, especially on my hands, just cutting and bleeding all the way down. So that's why we went to the doctors and they diagnosed me with it and sent me to counselling.
When I went to my GP, he put me on fluoxetine antidepressants, and because I'd only just turned 16, he said that I should go see a counsellor at the same time, a therapist, so that he can control my medication, see if it needs going up or down or whatever.
So the development, the onset of OCD was a slow thing for you, or was it rapid? Did it happen in stages?
Sort of built up in stages, like because I wasn't aware of it at first until it got pointed out to me. But knowing that I had it was more difficult to try and control it. So it wasn't just all of a sudden, it just built up and got worse.
When you're depressed, you tend to bottle things up because you don't want to speak to anyone. So I found that rather than taking my emotions out on everyone else, I'd rather cut myself, because then it feels like a release of something.
Well, I started counselling like when I was 12, and I didn't stop until I was 17. I did stop, but then I had to go back, and because it went bad again. But they just give you ideas of what to do to try and control it, deal with it, and to make it less of a problem, less of something that's overtaking your life. So, for example, they give me sticky notes to stick by the sink. Do not wash my hands if I didn't need to. So when I go to the sink, I wouldn't wash them, I'd walk away. And it was difficult at first, but after doing it so many times, it gets easier. So they just give you different ways of doing things to try and control it.